What's up, guys? Jose here again. This time I'm not with my friend Dale. We haven't talked in a couple of days, actually. But I changed my mind. I noticed that there haven't been very many tutorials on making mods for Windows. Plus, the process is pretty much the same on Mac as with Windows. So, sorry I had to switch over. That's what all the Windows sounds are. Is I have a KVM switch, like a keyboard switch between my Mac and my PC, because I use the same mouse and keyboard with the two. I just press the button and it switches. So yeah, I guess we should go ahead and get started. So this tutorial is going to be doing making mods using modloader. So I'm going to be making two different block types, I guess. So this should be pretty cool, pretty simple. So I'm going to open up Eclipse. This should still have the same src so that everything will be here. And you can see I already kind of started off and failed. So this was from actually the other day. I haven't done anything today. Well, I tried to record some, but I just kind of gave up. So hang on, my phone's vibrating. Let me see what this is all about. I wouldn't normally check, but I'm kind of in the middle. Okay, sorry about that. So let me go find this and delete it. Delete it, that's fine. Go away, perfect. So basically, I already have base mod installed, and I don't think I have anything else. Let me see, I might have Forge. No, I don't have Forge. I'll have to do Forge on Windows, I think. We'll see. So what we're going to do is make three new different blocks. I'm going to show you how to make basically torches, like an alternate type of torch, and that, cancel. And then a lighting, like a block that like glows, and then a simple kind of first night type block. So I'm going to start off by making a new file here called mod underscore. Basically anything that you make that's new, I always recommend you name it mod underscore and then the name. Usually it would be, you started off with like the first word, because you don't do spaces between anything. I mean, you can, but it makes it really hard. So don't do any spaces in your name. And, for example, let me say, if I was doing mud brick would normally be spelled like this. But the way you'd want to do it would be, the first word basically would be mud would be lowercase, and then any words after that would be capitalized, but there are no spaces. So you see it would look something like this. But I'm going to just name it a one-word name, which is tutorial, and we're going to end it with .java. And it opens up like so. So what we're going to do is we're going to go package net.minecraft.src and public class mod underscore not plus tutorial extends and then base mod. So what you want to do is basically do this, and it does actually tell me what my issues are. Been having a hard time with this. But basically it'll have an issue, like you can see here. All you have to do is just kind of hover over it and then just allow it to do the unimplemented methods. What this is going to do is pop up two things that say @@ override or @override and then //. This is going back to that whole comments thing. You don't really need to know about comments, but they're useful, and I'll be using them. But this is the Git version. I always let it automatically do it and then fill it in with quotations, because you do quotations and then version 1, for example, or whatever. It doesn't matter what you put here. It's just kind of for records. You could just leave it at null. Null basically means nothing, which means it returns nothing. But I'm going to just do version 1, like so. So now I'm going to leave some space and go over. And this is going to sort of initialize new blocks. So what we're going to do now is type public static final, and then if it's a block, you type block here, or if it's an item, you type, item. I'll be covering a couple of other things later on, but we'll not worry about that now. Like later on is in other videos as far as items and food, but we'll worry about that later. This is just blocks. So we're going to do block, And then this is just going to be a simple name of it. It's not going to be the name in the game. It's going to be the name that you're going to use in all your code. So this first one we're going to do is mod brick. And I'm just for the moment, I'm going to just end it with a semicolon. It's going to say that it has not been initialized. If I hover over here, that's no big deal. We'll initialize it in the same kind of line here. We don't have to. We could do it somewhere else, but I just don't. So I'm going to do the same thing. Block and then light stone. And same thing for, I want to do a torch. So it's going to be, easy torch, like that. So I'm going to have to go look at some pre-existing vanilla code because it's pretty complicated what we're going to have to do in a second. Not really complicated, it's just you have to refer to other code basically, but that's pretty simple for the torches. I'll show you that later. But right now we're just looking at the mud brick, so we're going to delete that semicolon and replace it with a space and then equals and then space. So now we're going to type in new, and then because this is a block, we type in block. If it was an item, we put in item, and if it was a food, you'd put in item food, like that. But this is a block, and then we're going to do parentheses, and now this number here, there's three sets of kind of integers, I guess is what they're called, that you're going to put, or not integers, but kind of like changing things. And for blocks, block IDs need to start at 123 and go up to 255. After 255, you can't put any more blocks. You can only put items. So I recommend that you start your new items with the number 1,000. It could be infinite from there, 9,000, 10,000. But your blocks will have to start, or have to fit between 123 and 255. So I'm going to type in 123, and then because the second detail is going to be described elsewhere, I'm just going to type in 0, and then material dot, and then this is going to be the type of material it's going to be made out of. So now I'm going to go to dot set hardness. This is going to be how hard it is. I'm going to make it pretty soft. Its resistance, which is its resistance to explosions. And then dot set block name, and then mud brick. And then end it with a semicolon, and you see we don't get any errors there. Now we're going to do the same thing here. I'm going to make the material of this one material.iron. Iron is basically like the same material as like iron block or storage blocks like that. Lapis block, gold block, iron block, and diamond block. That's that material. I'm going to set the hardness at 1.5F. Set the resistance at 1.5F as well. I usually keep these two the same. Now I'm going to type in something that I haven't already typed in, which is .set light value. It can't be any higher than 1.0F, but a torch is, I think it's 0.9735. Let me go look at that. Uh, 0.09375. I think I said 9735. Still, what we're going to do, this is like the same level as glowstone and lava. Then we're going to do set block name. This is important. If you don't have this here, a lot of stuff is going to mess up. So make sure you have this here, and make sure it's different. If you have two that have the same one, if you craft one, it'll give the same thing as what you've got it matched up. So if I try to craft a lightstone and I have this here as mud brick, it's going to give me mud brick instead. So make sure you make this different. I always wondered why, and then I found out one day myself, the hard way. So now, we're going to have to do something new with this one. All of these have been saying new block. Basically, when I say this is going to go here to block.java. If we go here to block.java, you see all of this stuff we're doing here? This is exactly what we're doing here. Look familiar? Good, it should. Now, you'll notice that here you've got just a couple of simple things, but if we go to torch wood, which was, where was it? Okay, so it's right here. We're going to need to copy and paste some of this stuff. But you see, instead of it saying new block like it does here for brick, it says new block torch. So let's go look at block torch because we're going to actually need to copy and paste a lot of stuff from it. This basically makes it so that, you see this is like the collision box. This is like the box around it, and basically changes all of this stuff here and the flames and all the particles. So it's like a torch instead of a normal sized block like most of them are. So I'm going to have to copy and paste all this stuff, make a new file called mod_easytorch.java. I'm just going to paste it, and you're going to get an error all the way here at the top saying that this doesn't match, and that's because it doesn't. So just kind of hover over it whenever it feels like working. Come on, there we go. Rename to Easy Torch. And this will rename it there and here. So once we save these, we're still going to get an error here because I haven't described it yet. But we can now close this, and I'm going to now look at this again because we need to copy and paste all this .set hardness nonsense. So copy. Now we're going to do new. And instead of typing block, we're going to do mod underscore and then easy torch. Now what we're going to have to do is 125 is going to be our number, and because we've already described the material in block.torch, this is all we have to do. And then we follow it with all the stuff we copied and pasted earlier, like so. Now you're going to get an error here, and I've done last time I tried to do it, I messed up here too. You have to, instead of saying sound wood footstep or whatever, if you look around on this file, do you see anywhere where it says wood footstep or on any footsteps? No. But since we got this from block.java, where it did have it in there, if you look all the way at the top, right there, this kind of describes all of it, we have to just tell it to go to block.java and then look for sound wood footsteps. So to do this, all we have to do is type the word block and then dot, and then it'll look for it. So we need to do the same thing. We need to do dot set step sound block dot sound metal footstep. Yeah, like so. Do the same here. Dot set step sound block dot sound stone, or I think is it stone? Yeah, stone footstep. Footstep. Like so. So this is going to change it so it sounds like stone, this will sound like an iron block, and this will sound like wood, like planks and logs. So we've already set the block, so now I need to just rename this to Easy Torch. And you want to keep the set requires, that set requires self-notify. This is basically required. And we're going to change the light value from this number to just 1.0. Pretty simple stuff. And I guess the last thing I want to do, these two, I already have separate files for. I don't remember where they are, but I have separate files for these two, for the image, or their icon. But I don't have one for here, and I'm just going to tell it to use the same texture as a lever. As weird as that sounds, it's just all I can think of right now. So, because I do not have the location memorized, I'm going to show you how to find it. Basically, all numbers in computers and whatnot start with 0 instead of 1. So what you have to do is count vertically. This kind of sucks, or horizontally, not vertically. Herp derp. This kind of sucks, but we basically just have to count until we get to here. Actually, you know, I think I want to use the dead redstone texture. So we get to count, and this kind of sucks, but whatever. So you got 0, 1, 2, 3, blah, blah, blah. So that's 15. And you got 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. Even blank spots like this matter. So, okay, if this was 15 and now this is 16. Okay, so 32. And then this is going to be 48. and the 64, and then 80, and then 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114. Now, what we're looking for is 115, if I'm correct. To keep from forgetting, I'm just going to add some extra code down here using a // This will make a note, basically, that, or it's called a comment. Basically, it has no code that doesn't affect anything. It's literally just a comment if you ever wanted to do it. I think I already said that, but still. So 115 there. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do, oh, we're done, actually. Come to think of it, we're done. So now what we have to do is we have to type in public and then mod underscore and then whatever the name of your mod is. And then you have to do double parentheses, just open, close, done. And then follow it with a curly brace. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add the images for the new blocks. So what we're going to do is we're going to type in, I'm going to start off or start at the bottom first. I'm going to do EasyTorch dot block index in texture equals, and then we're going to, oh man, I didn't do that right. I'm so stupid. This is XY, not what I just did where it counted all the way across. I'm sorry guys, I just completely wasted time. It's X and Y. So basically X, this block here, the grass topper, this is 0, 0. So 0, 1, I think, yeah, 0, this across is the first number, this across is the second number. So 0, 1, 0, or 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3, 0, 4, 0, 5, 0, 6, 0, 7, and then now 1, 7, 2, 7, 3, 7. So now we're at 3, 7. So let me just, yeah, that 117 is for something else. So we're going to just type 3, and then 7, and then semicolon it. Why am I having an issue? Left-hand side of an assessment must be at this. What? That is weird. Huh. I don't know why I'm getting this error, and it doesn't really make sense because I've never had it. Let me see what this tells me. Sometimes this is blah blah blah. Invalid assessment operator. So maybe I was right. Maybe it does need to be in numbers. Let me look at something. I'm pretty sure it's not the case, but actually, oh yeah, it is. You do have to do that number. I'm sorry, guys. So yeah, you do have to do that because you see it's 115 here. So that's the number we had earlier. If you do the 0, that's for something else. When you do the 0, whatever, I'm getting them confused. That's for forge. So we're going to do just 115, and that works. So now it's going to go to the redstone torch texture for it. So I'm going to leave some space there, and we're going to go ahead and activate or type in everything we're going to need for later. We also have to activate these blocks, but that's not a big deal. So now, because we don't want to use blocks in the terrain.png, we can override it and tell it to go somewhere else. So what we're going to do is we're going to do modloader.add override, and then terrain.png is the first one, and then now we're going to do the location of the second one. Now if it was an item, you type in /GUI/items.png because that's where it's located, but that's not where this is located because we specified block up here or we said block and then block there and here. But basically we said block here, so we have to actually tell the location of normal block locations. So I don't remember exactly where I put my my textures. I think I already put the textures in though. Let me check. Oh, that's the wrong place. Open with archive utility. I am still on Snow Leopard, by the way. I just can't stand it. Can't stand the latest update. Okay, so we do have mud brick here. Mud brick is that texture. Oh yeah, it's trying to launch it for some reason. I hate that. It gets on my nerves so much. Okay, so we have mud brick. What we need to do now is we need to somehow make a kind of decent looking new, or not really decent looking, it can be really ugly, and that's what I'm going to do. Basically, we need to make a new block for our glowing block thing. So this is my image editor thing. I'm going to make a new image, and it's going to be 16 by 16, like so, and here you go. This is our image. Doesn't matter if it has a white background or not, it won't make any difference, really. And, okay, so I'm going to kind of come in here and mess around with a couple of just different textures that exist and others kind of around here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here and snag the cobblestone texture, paste it, and then I'm going to make a new layer. It'll just be an empty layer, which is fine. We can delete the background layer. But we're going to have an empty layer, and I want to overlay glowstone on top of it. Now, when I say overlay, I kind of mean it differently than what overlays actually are. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose the blending at hard mix, I think, or hard light. Not hard, yeah, I think it's hard light. Like that, and then see, you can kind of mess with them and do like hard mix even, or try back and forth. Okay, maybe not necessarily hard mix again. It's kind of cool to try and mess with it though. Maybe, I don't know. I always like mess with them and whatever. I'd say that looks okay. I mean, I'm trying to make an ugly one, trust me. So I'm going to save it to the desktop as a PNG file, and I'm going to name it light.png, and really quickly add it to the jar. I can actually quit out of this, discard changes, and I can quit out of preview. All this is Mac stuff. If you don't really know it, don't worry about it. Those are just programs. Just make sure you can get your image however you want. So I'm going to just drag and drop light into the mod folder, because that's where I want it to be. And then I'm going to just kind of put my Minecraft.jar all back together. This is, again, all Mac process stuff. You can basically ignore this if you're on Windows and just open it up with WinRAR or 7-zip and do your thing like you normally would do. I just don't have that option. So now this is actually called mudbrick.png here. And I actually didn't need to do that. Now I could do lightstone.block index in texture, then equals modloader.add override / terrain.png. That's where it's going to want to go, but that's not where it's going to end up going. And then we're going to go, actually / mods. I think it's, is it mod or mods? I think it was mod. I'm pretty sure it's just mod. And then /mod /light.png is what I think I called it. I kind of feel bad for not knowing what I called things, even though I just did it, but mod, yeah, light. That's what I thought. So light.png, and then end that with a semicolon. So that's going to add our images. What we need to do now, I'm just going to make a few more spaces, is register new blocks. I don't know why this is required, I don't get it, but it is required, otherwise Minecraft will crash. So just trust me and do it. So we're going to do modloader.register block. I think it's like this. Yeah, just like that. So that's all you have to do is just do modloader dot register block, and then like the light stone, for example, and then you don't have to do this if it's an item, though. I don't get it. I don't understand it at all, but that's just kind of how it is. Okay, so we've registered the blocks, we've added our textures. There's a couple of things we still have left. We need to make recipes for them, and we need to make like crafting recipes, and then we need to add their names for in the game. Otherwise, it's just going to show nothing. So we're going to do add names, and modloader.add name. And then the first one is like this, mud brick, and then comma, comma space, and then quotations, mud brick, like so. Maybe it's add name with a capital A. Yeah, okay. I always get confused what has a capital and what has a lowercase, because like it's just kind of back and forth. So you see, basically what's in the in the quotation marks here is actually how it's going to show up in the game. So make sure you do it exactly how you want it, otherwise it'll show up kind of weird, or not how you want it. Light stone. Light stone. And now, last but not least, easy torch added. So, last but not least, we're going to do modloader.add recipe. Now, if you're on a PC or on Windows, this will pretty much all kind of pop up for you, but because I'm on a Mac, I have to fend for myself and know how to do all this. I do have a PC, I just don't use it because the microphone on it, or my microphone that I use with it, kind of sucks compared to this iMac, and my iMac has a really good mic, and I use it, or I prefer to use it. So what we're going to do is you're going to do new item stack, blah, blah, blah. Now, in here, it's going to say, like, the name of the block, and then comma, and then the number that you're going to get back. Now you're going to do new object, and then like a little square there, and then like that. I know this is really confusing. You have to kind of keep up with me, though. You can pause the video and take a look now. I'm just going to kind of take a second and explain everything, though, because I have to kind of type it out. Otherwise, the errors are just going to get in the way. How is that an error? That's ridiculous. Oh, there we go. Fixed. Yeah, somehow the letter T was expected to be a equal sign. I don't get that. So, you type in, basically all of this stuff is stuff you have to type in. Then in here, this is going to be the name of your new item. If it's actually in your document, like if you've actually done all the register and the add name and then all of the public static final stuff, you can just type in the word mod brick. Otherwise, you have to type in like the name mod underscore tutorial dot mudbrick, like this. Like, let's say I made a new file called mod underscore tutorial 2, and I wanted to do a crafting recipe with mud brick. I would have to do mod underscore tutorial dot mudbrick. But since I'm in the file that I made mud brick, I can just use the word mud brick carelessly, basically like that. And then comma space, and then this is the number it will actually craft. So I'm going to do 4. And it's new object, and what I did here, it's a square bracket and then another square bracket, like that. Nothing inside it. Then an open curly brace, and then another closed curly brace, closed parentheses, and then semicolon. Here, if you watch my last video, is where you're going to put your crafting recipe. If you don't know how this works, go check out my last video. It explains all of it. All of this, but I'm kind of had to explain that part. I'm going to do character.value of, and then block.dirt. So now if I make a 2x2, it'll give us 4 mud brick with dirt. So I'm just going to repeat the process. I'm just going to copy paste like so, and this is going to be light stone. So light stone, and then it'll give us 2, and block, oops, didn't mean to do that. Block dot cobblestone. Yeah, cobblestone, like that. And copy and paste one more time. I do want to keep that even. And now this is going to be easy torch. And I'm going to change it so it's just like a torch shape, but with dirt. So now that we save this, we can actually press the run button or this little play button up here, and it'll actually start Minecraft for you. Now, it won't ask you for a login or anything, which is kind of convenient if you want to play Minecraft illegally for free. I do recommend you buy it anyway, though. Just because not buying it would be not a good idea. You really do want to buy it. But you basically force play offline, which kind of sucks, but whatever. Yeah, so we're going to make a new world. There's my sound. I do apologize if this lags. It shouldn't, but yeah, it might. Give it a second to generate world. And there we go. So let's get started. Although I did get a really crappy world. I'm not going to complain right now because I'm a little busy. Okay, so can I at least get a tree? No, apparently no. Well, I can at least show you guys my mess up here. That my easy torches look messed up as a held item. Wonder why. That's really weird. I'll have to figure that out. Maybe I'll probably just have to remove this from the train.png and just do another override. Pretty sure that's what it is. But you can see there's the easy torch, and if I do the 2x2 here, there's your mud brick. And it's not that pretty, but it's not supposed to be. Now what I'm in search of is, wow, this is really good terrain gem actually. Oh, you can see by the way that this is really easy to break, but because it is a stone, I don't actually get it back when I break it with my bare hands. So that's a shame, but you know, it's kind of how it is, kind of how I made the mod and stuff. So I'm just going to dig down and get in a kind of a dark place to show you guys the torches. Although they are broken, I'll fix that in just a second. If I place this down, it provides light. So I'll do I'll show you guys how to separate the image on Mac. If you don't know how to do it on Windows, basically search for Photoshop tutorials. Because that's what you need to do, is learn how to use Photoshop. Ooh, ouch. Audio's a little bit loud. Oh, how convenient could this be? We have an NPC village right here too. This is kind of a cool map. I might have to keep the seed and upload it on, like, you know, load it up to someone's page where it's like, here's some cool seeds and stuff. This is kind of a neat place. Too bad this isn't 1.1 where they actually have chests and stuff. Whatever. So, we have some roses. But I'm going to get a pickaxe and a shovel, and I'm going to get some of our new light block. Or light stone, actually, is what I've officially named it. That should not be a screwed up texture. I mean, no more screwed up than how I actually made it. You know what? I may actually have to just set an icon index for it. I'll have to go check that out for the redstone torch thing that I made. Because I kind of want to keep it how it is, but I'm not going to risk anything. As far, you know, if I have to do an override, then yeah, I will, but I'd rather find out if that was just all it was to get to it. Is I just have to fix the texture or what? Oh, and you can see that Easy Torch is actually named properly, which is good. That's what we wanted it. So I'm going to grab some 4 cobblestone. Or 6. And it's starting to get dark in here, and I'll just craft some of my light stone, no big deal. So I'm going to fill this in. So it's pretty dark. Let me toss down some ugly stone, light stone, and you can see it glows up just as much as one of my weird looking torch things does. So, you can hear that has a metal material to it. Right now, because I didn't use forge, I can break that with any material of tool, any type of tool. But in our next tutorial, I'll show you how to actually make it so that you can only break certain materials with certain tool types, such as diamond. You know how diamond can only be broken or diamond, or it can only be broken with silver, you know, or only be broken to drop something with silver, or not silver. Oh my god, what am I, Sly Fox? No offense. But with iron. But we'll see. Let me make sure. Yeah, my torches aren't messed up. My normal torches. So let me go check this out. We'll troubleshoot. This is kind of the fun part of it. That's weird. It's called a NOT gate, really? Yeah, I cannot believe I'm getting this issue. That's really weird. Oh well, I'll show you how to separate the texture then. So, let's get started. I still have this open, so I'm just going to open terrain.png. And I'm going to open it with preview because that's just the easy way for me to do something. And I'm going to just grab the texture that I want, which is this texture right here. I'm going to select a 16 by 16 area that's around it. You can kind of tell that this is the 16 by 16 area because this is the bottom of the 16 by 16 and both sides, which means this has to be the top. So we're going to copy it. I'm going to make a new file using that copied file. This is, again, preview stuff. If you're on a PC, learn how to use Photoshop. No offense. So I'm just going to name this easy.png. It's fine. And now we're going to have to, unfortunately, do all that fun stuff of adding it to this jar again, but no big deal. Oh, I wanted it to snap on the right side here. Perfect. So what I'm going to do is just go into mod here and just add easy.png in. So now if I compress this again and just rename it again, replace it again, and go get Eclipse. Now we'll just have to really quickly change this. Instead of doing the block index and texture, we're going to have to do another modloader.add override. Modloader.add override / terrain.png / mod / easy.png. So I've already added it, I've changed it now. This should work better now. It should. Hopefully it does. No, that's really weird. I've never had this error or issue. Let me check something. I'm pretty sure I didn't forget something. So like value, block name requires self-notify, block torch.java. I'm sorry guys, this is just weird. And I'm not doing icon index, right? Pretty sure I'm not. Modloader.block index and texture. This is weird, guys. Never had this issue. Ever. Strange. I've done this already once. But you kind of get the point. You saw that the actual torch itself made sense as far as the looks of it and whatnot. Maybe I have to, let me try something. Easy torch dot icon index? I'm pretty sure that's not going to work, but yeah. Yeah, because it's saying that it cannot find it because it does not exist in block.java. But that's basically the simplistics of all of this. Sorry if I really threw you off with the weird torch issue, but yeah, I'm going to work on finding the answer to that, and as soon as I do, I'll post a video for it. I hope you enjoyed, guys. If you did, please comment, rate, and subscribe. And if you want me to move over to Windows, I'll try. My Windows on this Mac is having a hard time actually activating for some reason, and I'm just not bothering with it anymore. But if you do really, really, really want a tutorial, let me know. And yeah, I guess we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.